Good afternoon to everyone. I would like to thank Joel and to thank Mr. Secon for inviting us in this great Viteff. First of all, I would like to apologize of my English. I'm sure I speak Spanish perfectly, but I can't today. So I hope you understand the message I'm bringing today. Well, I have 15 minutes. I'm not going to show you a specific sustainable practices that are currently applied in Argentina, but just to show you the context, thanks to the one we are evolving in this topic. Well, first of all, this is Argentina. You can see the main viticultural regions. They are on the west, from north to south. But let me tell you that grapes are cultivated in all Argentina, not only on the west. Mendoza, which is in the center, this is the main producer. It's where the main viticultural region is within Argentina. We are the 5th producer and the 5th consumer as well. We have 220,000 hectares, and our last production was about 12 million of hectoliters. And we do sparkling wine as well, not as much and as wonderful like the ones that you produce, but we produce around 400 hectoliters per year. Well, I'm going to talk about the context of Argentina. We have at a national level the National Secretary of Environment and Sustainable Development. It is really new. It was created in 2006 and is in charge of planning and the coordination and regulation of environmental policies designated to a lot of production sectors, not only for viticulture. Just to give you an example, there is a Secretary of Family Agriculture and Regional Development. It runs a lot of programs, but the main objective is to be in charge of developing regional economies. Support for home winemakers, for example. The number of home winemakers are increasing in Argentina. I mentioned Mendoza before. We are the main producer. We produce more than the 70% of our grapes and wines. And in my province, we have a government body as well. This is the Secretary of Environmental and Sustainable Development as well. And it has a lot of programs too, but mostly related to forestation, to water, to energy, to waste, and to protected areas. Now, if we focus more on viticulture, at a national level as well, in 2003 we created or we developed the PEVI 2020. This is the strategic plan for viticulture, and it has been developed to define policies and regulation to encourage our country for the adoption of sustainable practices. This PEVI abords all the pillars of sustainability, the social, the economical, and the environmental pillars, but on its point number 5, it refers specifically to the environmental. In the framework of this strategic plan, a group of people, a legal entity was created with name is COVIAR, is La Corporación Vitivinícola Argentina, is the Argentinian Corporation for Grape and Wine, is the legal entity created to manage and coordinate the strategic plan. It is composed by multiple actors from the national, through the provincial, from the public and from the private sector as well. Just to give you an example, within the Proviar, we have a program called the Proviar 2020, which is, it focused mainly in the primary producers. We have a lot, like here in France. And the main objective is to improve profitability and stability of the income of the small producers, and as well to encourage el cooperativismo. Is a way of working that you may know very well here in France, contribute to the technological adaptation and coordinate the work of different institutions that are involved in accompany these small producers. If we travel like a Zoom, the Instituto Nacional de Vitivinicultura is one of the members of the COVIAR and one of the responsible institute that has developed the strategic plan as well. We are like the police of the industry. We control the grape and wine industry, but at the same time we have been implementing initiatives to ensure different things, but mostly that our sector evolve sustainable. And briefly, just to show you some of the work we have been doing at international and national level, we work at the OIV, the International Organization for the Vine and the Wine, and we have been gathering, for example, information within my country about the perceptions, thinking, knowledge, opinions about what sustainability is, because we realized that in my country it's difficult to install such a concept that has to be more than with a philosophical way of living. We are working as well with Bolivia, Brazil, and France in a project that aims to characterize wines from high altitude, but the main objective of the project is to develop general economies as well. We also we are working with the national government in developing a guide for the calculating of the carbon footprint in wine, but after all, what we want to do is to prepare the industry in registering every information that help them to use more efficiently their resources. We also are developing sustainable indicators, the ones that other speakers have been showing. And with the private sector, we developed a code, an Argentinian code of sustainable wine growing. It's a self-assessment workbook that other countries from the New World already have. And now we are finishing an important project that has to be with a compilation of sustainable practices that are currently applied in the winery and at the vineyard level. Well, the private sector is very active in sustainable practices, but remember that only the 20% of our industry is exporting, and they represent the main wineries in our country, so they are actively working and sensibilized in this term. They are focused their management mostly in water. Water for us is very important. We irrigate everything and we live thanks to water. Energy, effluent residues, and the social component is gaining more focus right now. I would like to add also that most of these wineries are implementing international standards as well, and continues developing indicators in order to analyze the evolution of this way of living or way of management. And to close, as you can see, Argentina is working very, very hard in this in this sustainable approach. It's a real challenge for us because we have a lot of small producers and it's hard for us to install the sustainable concept in the primary sector. But we are working in a very articulated way, from national to local, from public to private sectors, in order to not only have the vitiviniculture now, but have it in the future. This is one of the problems that we are seeing, not only in Argentina, but probably in other countries, and it's that the transfer of the vitiviniculture culture is losing. So if we move under the same objective, we want to have vitiviniculture in Argentina in the future, so that's why we are working together. Thank you.